Yes, yes, boys. Ryjack back here for another live stream. Today we're talking about Juventus, the big game in Orlando that I will personally be attending, my first ever Man City game in person. Not a lot of times where they come over to the States and are playing close enough, or the travel would be in my budget to go to the game, but I live very close to Orlando, so I will be at the game tomorrow, and I will be doing a vlog as well that I'll put out on the channel probably like Friday, as soon as I can get it edited when I get home. Anyway, before we start, I do appreciate all the subs and followers and everything. If you are new to the channel, hit me with a sub. We're going for 200 subs, getting very close. If you like the short form content, check out my TikTok. I have the link to that in the description. Very close to 1,500 on TikTok. So appreciate all the support across my channels and my different spheres of social media. Now, let's talk about this game. Juventus tomorrow. Like I said, this one is for the group. If we look at the group standings, it's as you would expect, of course. Juventus sitting in first on goal difference. Technically, even though we're even with goal difference with them, they've got 9 goals for. We have 8 goals for. So I guess that's the decider, is the goals scored. So they sit just in front of us at the moment. A win puts us first. A draw would see us finish second. And you really want to avoid second in this group. I believe second place most likely gets us Real Madrid in the round of 16. And while I think we would potentially probably beat them, obviously we would prefer to have a little bit of an easier path and not have to go through Madrid just right off rip when we get to the knockouts here. And the longer you play in the tournament, the more money the club gets, which is good for future transfers. So if we look over at the lineup preview for Juventus, there's some interesting names in there. Kolumuani's had a pretty good tournament from what I can tell. This Yildiz guy seems like some player. Very impressive goal the other night against, I think it was Wydad. I don't remember which game it was, but he scored from pretty good distance. He seems like a solid player. His Serie A stats, 11 GNA and 35 is not like, insane, but so far in this tournament, he's got 3 goals in 2 games. So one to watch here for sure. This Yildiz character. Conceição is like a techie, small, quick player. Very good. In general, I like him as well. Maybe not like as good as Yildiz is, but from what I've seen, he's impressive. Cambiasso, obviously one who's been linked to City heavily. I think that's probably dead at the moment. I've seen very minimal links to Cambiasso in the last, I don't know, since like March probably. Haven't had much at all. Their midfield, Thuram and McKennie, solid. McKennie, an American, of course, will want to do well playing in his home country. Acosta, this right wing back, I actually was really impressed with as well. Brazilian, young, could be one potentially for the future. Lloyd Kelly, not overly impressive. Savona, another player City were linked with. Maybe there's something there. I didn't think he really stood out. And Kalulu, formerly of AC Milan, solid in general center back. And the goalie, Di Gregorio, is another player linked to City in the past. So a lot of talent on the Juventus side, interesting names, and very familiar names, at least for players that are linked to Man City. As far as injuries, they've got Juan Cabal, who I don't know who that is, but he'll be out for the game. No notable injuries for us. However, Echeverri is definitely not playing. He's injured. Rodri most likely will not start. They have him here in this initial lineup, but I would be pretty surprised if Rodri started. And John Stones, again, is still injured and I don't think is ready to actually play. Even though he's training and is with the team, I just don't think that's gonna be happening. So I don't know why they don't list them here. But this one is for the group. So it'll be interesting one. It is tomorrow, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is going to be extremely hot. Today, like I said, I'm about an hour away from Orlando. Today it was in the high 90s. It was 96, 97 degrees Fahrenheit for us here, which is pretty hot. So the stadium does not have a roof. I've been to the stadium many times. It is going to be hot for the players, and they probably won't be super used to that heat. The Atlanta game, that was a dome and it was closed, which is a nice feature some of these American stadiums have. But in Orlando, that is not the case. It is an open stadium and it will be a scorcher. That is for certain. Now, I do want to look at the lineup. It's interesting because I don't know exactly what we're thinking here. We've had 2 games and 2 completely different 11s. I think Pep is going to go out with his most solid team, most likely for this game. It's going to be the best, strongest team he can put forward because winning the group is important to City, obviously. What does that mean, though? Do we play 3 at the back like we did against Al Ain, or do we go more traditional 4 at the back and the standard like we did against Wydad? For me, I am hopeful to see this 3 center back system with the wing backs getting up and down and providing the width and in no sort of traditional winger formation. I think that is going to work well. Obviously, we scored 6 in the game we used that. Again, it was against Al Ain. They're not very good. Wydad, obviously not very good as well, but seemingly it worked better in the second game. So for me, I'm going to choose this 3-back system with flying wing backs, and I think should we do well against Juventus, maybe that's what we can see going forward in the Premier League once that returns in August. For the goalie, I think we all know it's going to be Ederson. Ortega got his nice little 1 start, so congratulations to you, Ortega, but you're probably not going to play the rest of the tournament here. Then you get to 3 center backs. Who are the 3 that get minutes? We have not seen much of Ruben Diaz or Josko Gvardiol, really. They've been getting some rest time. You've got Akanji, you've got Nathan Ake, Abdikadir Kusana, Vitor Hayes. I mean, you have a lot of options for center back. And it's a difficult one. I think you will see Kusanov at this right-sided center back, probably. He's got pace. He likes to defend out on this right-hand side a little bit. We've seen him play right back for City, and he's been solid when he did that. So I think we see Kusanov at the right-sided center back position. In the middle, I'm going to go with Ruben Diaz. Again, he's not played a whole lot during this tournament, but he's part of the captaincy group. He is probably our best or second best center back, wherever you rate Gvardiol. Speaking of him, I would go with Gvardiol at the left-sided center back. This would be my back 3. This means, unfortunately, you miss out Nathan Ake, Manu Akanji, who, fine, no big deal. There's some potential with Akanji not being at the club next season, depending on, of course, Vitor Hayes, who also does not start. But news like I talked about a little while ago, Vitor Hayes is very well appreciated by Pep, and Pep does not want to loan him out. So for not loaning out Vitor Hayes, someone needs to head out. And it's not going to be Ruben Diaz, it's not going to be Gvardiol, and it's not going to be Kusanov. It is going to be Stones or Ake or Akanji. And for me, I just deep down believe it's Manu Akanji. Even though we all know Pep loves the guy for some specific reason, I think this would be the first 3 center backs if you were ranking them on kind of like a depth chart type thing for City. And I don't think we're going to keep 6 or 7 center backs. It's just too many. So Stones leaves, Akanji leaves, and then you have Ake and Vitor Hayes as the 5 center backs going into next season. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you switch one of those, and maybe Pep realizes this is the case, and Vitor Hayes gets loaned anyway, and it's all just that's what's going to happen. But I don't know. In this formation, though, I do like it because you can have the flying wing backs, like I mentioned, and Ryan Aït-Nouri was extremely impressive in his first game for City. I think he definitely has to play. I would love to watch this guy in person. I thought he was extremely skilled on the ball, was extremely good going forward, took on his man, created chances, had a nice cross on him, which is something we're not super familiar with for left backs, certainly. So to me, I would 100% be starting Aït-Nouri at left back. You do technically have the option of Nico O'Reilly, but Ryan Nori is going to be the left back next season. Nico O'Reilly may struggle to get minutes next season, especially if Nori's the starting left back and Gavardiol is the backup left back. And then the midfield is so congested as it is. It's really potentially going to be difficult for Nico O'Reilly. Zach in the chat says, "What's up, legend? Hope you're well." Zach, how are you doing? Welcome to the chat. We're just doing some lineup here, so do put your suggestions or changes to the lineup in the chat if you would like. The right wing back role, I think, is probably the only option is going to be Nunez. Rico Lewis obviously has the red card suspension, which is actually an extra 2 games now. So he will miss the round of 16 game, which is very strange because I feel like it was a harsh red card anyway. So I don't know about that. If you're going to go 3 at the back like this, you have to play Mateus Nunes at right wing back. There's no other player. If you want to do 4 at the back and do a Kanji right back or Kusanov right back, I guess you could, but if you're going to have wing backs, Kusanov is not it at right wing back, and neither is Kanji. There's no way I would support that. So in this formation and scenario with what we've got, this is what we probably will see from the back line. Zach says, "I want Marmoush, Foden, Cherki, Holland in attack." I think that is probably... That might be tough. I think we can all agree that Holland is going to start at the striker position. I think most likely we will see Marmoush as well, tucking in from the left. Those are probably the 2 locks here. He can start out here, and then when Nori pushes up, Marmoush can cut inside. This is what he likes to do. And then you've got this position here. This is either Foden or Cherki. I don't know if you can do Marmoush, Foden, Cherki, and Holland, all 4, if you have the wing-back situation going. I don't know. Because then that means Cherki is in this back line or Foden is in this back line. Maybe that's enough. Maybe you can, and you say screw it and go all-out attack. But then who is your sole 6? I mean, I guess in that scenario, you would do Tijani Reinders. If I can spell his name right. Reinders. There we go. Tijani Reinders right there. And then you could go with Foden and Ryan Cherki. This team has a lot of talent. That is true. That is very true. A ton of talent, especially with the new signings incoming. But, I mean, this is what that would end up kind of looking like potentially. And this is just the most non-packed midfield, non-pep midfield I think we could see. I don't know if this works with these 4 attackers, 5 defenders. It could be tough there. The other option you have is like a Bernardo, Gundogan. You could play Nico G next to Reinders. I don't think Rodri's ready to start. Otherwise, I would put Rodri and Reinders in. I think that's probably our best base of 2. Right back is definitely needed. Agree, right back is definitely needed for sure. And there are some links out there today about Pep deciding that he's not into this Mateus Nunes right back situation. Hamza says, "Hello, remember me?" Yes, Hamza, I remember you, my number 1 hater. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well, my guy. I don't know, man. I'm not entirely sure what we do here. I think, unfortunately, one of Cherki and Foden misses out. And just for the sake of Ryan Cherki is the new shiny toy, let's take out Foden for this game specifically. And we can have Cherki there. And then the other midfielder is either Gundo or it is Bernardo or Nico Gonzalez. You could have Nico Gonzalez, and I think that is a super steady back line. If you had it kind of like this. Now that is an impressive lineup and a very fortified, balanced base. You remember me from fan reactions? Thanks, man. I love it when I get on fan reactions. It's cool. I think it's really cool. especially when it's like the big one that has, I don't know, 100K or 80K or something. That's pretty cool. People come on a lot and say, "Oh, I saw your fan reaction. It's pretty cool." Hamza says, "I love you. Stop saying you're number one hater." I mean, you're not my number one fan. You like to attack everything I say. So I don't know, man. I don't think Nico G is playing much. That's where I was going to go next, Zach. I wish this is what we were going to see, but unfortunately, Nico G did not have a great game against Al Ain. I thought he was probably, unfortunately, and I don't like to say it, but probably our worst player on the pitch. He lost the ball, which led to their only single attack. He lost the ball in that FA Cup game, which was his debut, which led to Plymouth's goal. I just think he's careless sometimes on the ball. He didn't look super athletic. He didn't look super quick or on it. I don't know. It's just something was missing with Nico G, at least in the Al Ain game. And maybe that's because he hasn't played enough football for City and he's just not up to speed at the moment with everything that's going on. But I do think you're right. I think Nico G is probably not starting the game. If, like I said, Rodri was available, obviously we start Rodri, but he's not. So the options really are Bernardo or Gundogan. And for me, I mean, Gundogan is coming off his maybe best game since returning to the club. And I think this is what it will end up being. Yes, Bernardo is the captain. But let's see some of the new toys. Let's get Reinders, Cherky, and Aït-Nouri all on the pitch at the same time, and hopefully this is enough to beat the difficult team that will be Juventus. You know, I'm sure Juventus will be a good team, but not the best team we should play if we do advance. Imagine Ederson was a midfielder. Man, if Ederson was a midfielder, we would be set. He would be he'd be something to see in the midfield. Hamza says, Liverpool is better. Come on, Verts the GOAT. Ryan Cherky, who? Yeah, that sounds just like Hamza. Sure, we'll go with that. I don't mind Bernardo. He runs all game. That is true, man. For people who say a lot of negative things about Bernardo and how he's passed it, the one thing you cannot question on Bernardo is the guy's just mentality and work rate. The guy runs all game long. You're spot on. And I think that's what Pep rates, to be honest. Pep loves Bernardo like he is his only child, seemingly. I mean, Pep and Bernardo is a combination for all time. He, in an interview, said, I want to say 2017, as long as I'm here, Bernardo will be here, because that's how much he basically rates Bernardo. So you could swap out Gundogan for Bernardo, but given Gundogan's fantastic performance, 2 goals, I'm going to just roll with him there, and I think this team certainly is good enough to win this game. Ryan Wende says, hi, I'm here now. Welcome. How are you? He's coming over from TikTok, which is good. Shout out. If you guys are not aware, I do have TikTok, short form content. I post on there a lot, so do check that out. Link in bio for my TikTok. Kusanov seems like a nice guy, but really isn't. Kusanov is kind of like a bull in a china shop, man. I feel like he might have 7 or 8 yellow cards next season. He might be one that is just prone to yellow cards and it'd be quick to get suspended next season. But I really like watching him play. He's tough. He plays hard. He's no nonsense. He's kind of got that dog in him that we potentially have missed, you know? And I really like that about Kusanov. City will smash Liverpool next season. They have a free on last season. That is true. Low fat, mo fat. City were obviously way out of it of the competition, and Arsenal didn't bring it at all. So Liverpool basically walked the league, but don't be mistaken. City are coming back nice and strong. And the formation, Ryan Ruende, I believe we're running with this back 3, back 5, whatever you guys want to call it. If we do change the lineup, I think we fit Foden in this attacking 4, because then you will just have probably take out Kusanov. Nunes will fall back to right back, and this would end up being Foden in the midfield here, and it would look like that. If you decided you wanted Foden in terribly, this would be Foden. That's what it would look like in my personal opinion. Or you could do Foden out on the right and Cherky there. But for the time being, I really enjoyed this wingback type formation, and that's what I want to see. You can also swap in the middle of the game. There's no reason you have to have this the entire game. We obviously at some point during the game against Al Ain, we did switch out of the back three and went to a traditional more back four. When I think Kusanov was subbed off, I can't remember. Pep is the best manager in the Premier League. I would agree with that. I think on merit, that's pretty easy one there. Pep is easily the best manager in the Premier League. He has 6 titles in the last 8 years. I mean, there's no debate there. No, it's Jurgen Klopp. Well, Jurgen Klopp is not a manager anymore, so he can't be the best current Premier League manager. He does not manage a club. What's my prediction for the game? Ryan, I am going with... I hope there's a lot of goals, because like I said, I will be at the game. I hope there are a lot of goals. And it's the first time I've ever seen City play live, so I really could not be more excited for the game. I'm going to go with... Let's go 3-1 City. 3-1 City. Haaland gets 2 and Cherky gets another. Does that sound good? Sounds good to me. I would back that heavy, and it would make me very, very happy. Very, very happy. 4-2 City. That'd be a good one. 4-2 as well. 6 goals. Even if 2 of them are from Juventus, I'd be thrilled. 6 goals would be just amazing to watch. Now, before we do end the stream, there is some more news to discuss, and it's something that I think you probably saw as well today. Here we go. It is the right back situation, as well as some links to Rodrigo, which we can talk about as well. Pep is thought to be unsure about the continued viability of Mateus Nunes at right back via Jack Gohan. Now, if a source comes from this guy, Jack Gohan, it's from City. That is City's reporter for the Daily Mail. I mean, the guy he's not putting out anything that he's not told by the club. It's not BS, it's not fake. So, basically what I'm saying is, Jack Gohan says it's definitely true from City's end. It's what they believe at the moment to be true. Does this mean we're going for Livramento? I don't know, man. I don't know. Livramento is going to be so expensive. My personal belief on Livramento, he is going to cost a world record fee for a right back. Newcastle have the most money of any team in the world. They don't need money. Yes, maybe they have questionable PSR at times, but they don't need to sell their best players. They'll just sell some academy players like City do, or they'll sell some squad players, So we will see. Right now, Pep rules the Premier League. For me, Haaland 4-0, Haaland 2, Foden, and then Cherky would love that. We need a right back and goalkeeper. Livramento is who Pep wants. I agree. I totally agree that Livramento is the number 1 target. Zach shouts out Wesley there. There's some links for Wesley to Brighton, which is actually crazy because Brighton want to pay $20 million, where we were quoted at 40 or 45 million. This is unbelievable, the upcharge we get on players. I have watched Wesley during this Club World Cup, and on the whole, I would say he was solid. I think he was definitely at fault for one of Chelsea's goals, but who doesn't have a bozo gene? That doesn't mean you don't fit in at City. Wesley could be the right back. The only issue with Wesley at right back is he is non-homegrown. He's Brazilian. He would be over the age limit where he doesn't have to count against the non-homegrown rule. And we're already at the point of basically max capacity for non-homegrowns. So it's a tough one. I do think Wesley would fit in. And if it was up to me and there's none of these stupid homegrown rules, I would probably go for Wesley just because he's going to be way less expensive than Livramento and is a right back the most pressing need of a position to spend that much money on. for me, yes, we need it, but I cannot back spending 70, 80 million on a right back. It's got to be one of the least important positions on the field. If you had to rank them, yes, they're all important, I know. But if you had to rank them, right back is near the bottom. So if we're going to be spending big money and it's a position of more value for me, let's go for Rodrigo. Maybe he doesn't fit. I don't know. But I think Rodrigo for 80 and Wesley for 25 or 30 is better business than Livramento for 70, 80. Just my personal opinion. Do we still need Gibbs White? That's a great point. If certain players leave, I would say we could use Gibbs White. I don't think we're at the point where we need Gibbs White, especially because if you look at, let me pull up our squad here. Hamza, you can stop spamming in the chat, bro. I get it. You're my number one hater. It's all right. You can stay. I'm not going to ban you or anything, but you don't need to spam, okay? You don't need to spam. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Hope you don't melt. Kelkster, I am going to absolutely fry. I have very pale skin, and I'm very prone to sunburns, unfortunately, so I'm going to come back super red, but I don't care. I would go out there and sweat my blank off to watch City. I'm very excited, very hyped. Hamza, I'm not going to send you money. Morgan Gibbs White is not coming to City. I am also certain. I wouldn't say certain, but I don't believe Morgan Gibbs White is coming to City. When you look at the midfield, like we were just talking about, you have so many options. Nico O'Reilly, Tijani Reinders, Mateo Kovacic, Nico G, Rodri, Gundogan, Jacob Wright is gone, Bernardo, Echeverri, McAtee will leave, Foden, Cherokee's technically a midfielder. I mean, you got 9. It's just, I just don't see it happening. I would think Gundogan is still probably leaving. There's a big, heavy influence from the Turkey links, Galatasaray. I've heard he's house hunting over in Turkey, so I think that happens. But I think further, just to have Gibbs White be an option, you probably would need Kovacic also. Also, Kovacic would have to leave. He said he wants to move. I for sure, and I'm sure many players want it to happen. But unfortunately, we can't buy everyone. Zach says, all right, bro, I'm going to bed. See it. No problem, Zach. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it, as always. Low Fat had a message retracted. I didn't see it, but you can put it back in, and I will respond, of course. So, hope you enjoy the game. Thank you, man. I'm so excited. First time ever seeing the team I've supported for just over 10 years now. I'm ready to go, man. Ready to go. And I'm going to film a nice vlog as well, so I'm pretty excited to do that. I'm also dragging my wife there, who's not a soccer fan. She's also pregnant with our first child, so I hope it's not too hot for her. But she had to come with me for this. I am very excited for that tomorrow. It's going to be hopefully one of the best days of my entire life tomorrow. So, let's see here. The other bit of news that I have to discuss before we do wrap it up here is the Rodrigo talk. Let me pull up this tweet. Pull it up here. Rodrigo and City. There's some links going on all over Twitter today. Ryan says, congratulations. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. Some links all about Rodrigo today. Wish you and your family all the best. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Kind words from the chat. You guys are the best. Even you, Hams. I know you're a spammer, but appreciate it. Man City say they're not interested in Rodrigo. Again, this is from Jack Goran. And like I said, if Jack Goran is saying it, it is fact. It's coming straight from City. The City board seemingly is very quiet with these transfers now, and I think that might unfortunately be the norm. We're not going to get a whole lot of links after City feel like the media, take advantage of them, etc. So whether or not we're interested in Rodrigo, I don't think them saying that we're not interested at the moment means anything at all. I just think we're not doing any business while we're here in the States. I just think we're going to shut it down, and then when we get back, when the tournament is over, we'll ramp things back up, and then we could reignite this City interest. Low Fat says City have rejected the Rodrigo rumors. I do see that, but I kind of don't believe it, to be honest. I kind of don't believe it. Now this from LB, I do agree with this. I don't see us signing Rodrigo unless one of Daku, Savio, or Bob leaves. And in that scenario, I think the only one of those three with the potential to leave is Daku. Savio is not going to leave. He's only been here for one season. Bob has basically played zero. I mean, he's played like 1,000 minutes for City. He's not going to leave. And Daku's had 2 seasons, and he's been all right. So if they want to move on Daku, maybe Rodrigo makes sense. I don't know. Ryan says, I don't want Arsenal to sign him. That would also not be great. I don't want Arsenal to sign them. But in general, I don't think you can sign players to avoid your rival getting them. You know, it has to be right for City. And me personally, I think right wing is more pressing of a need than a left wing, which is what Rodrigo allegedly wants to be. I know he plays right wing for Madrid, but if he is playing right wing for Madrid and he's not enjoying it and he's telling them he wants to play on the left is really stacked for City. You have Marmoush who's holding that down, Daku who's holding that down, and I don't think he's going to be, him and Marmoush rotating. That doesn't really make sense to me. Marmoush is going to play the majority of the games, and Rodrigo would also want to play the majority of the games. So front three of those guys is impressive, but again, Rodrigo can go to Arsenal and play the position he wants. That maybe makes more sense to him. See, I don't agree with this Rodrigo at right wing. I don't think that personally happens. This is the initial tweet that kind of sparked everything today from Jose Claros. He basically says they have reactivated contacts for Rodrigo, which potentially is true. Even if the club deny it, this could be true. After the World Cup ends, there will be an approach with Madrid to explore the possibility of reaching an agreement, attempting to sign him. Pep has given the okay, as interested in having him in the squad. Which, again, that's probably true. Like, if a player as good as Rodrigo is available and on the market, I think City are a club that they have to do their due diligence. They have to be looking and seeing if they want to go for that move. They have to be up to date with all the best players when they move teams. They just have to. So maybe it turns into nothing and he just goes to Arsenal and it is what it is. But I'm sure Pep has given the okay. Why would he not give the okay? Rodrigo is a fantastic player. I don't want Mr. Alcohol Jack Grealish here. Sources are a bit suspect for Rodrigo. That could be potentially true. Like, I have not heard of Jose Claros before, but the sources are all out of Spain. Their sources are all out of Spain. There's nothing out of England at the moment that says Rodrigo is going to City or City are interested in Rodrigo. There's absolutely zero from England. It's all from Rodrigo's side. So maybe that means he personally is interested and he's pushing these rumors out and it's what he wants. Potentially. In May, Pep had discussions with Rodrigo's dad. I mean, I don't remember reading that, but I don't know why it wouldn't be true. I mean, it could be true. Why change now? I think Rodrigo is a potential possibility. But, like I said, somebody's got to go. You can't just buy every player. Pep doesn't want a big squad, unfortunately, even though I do think we would be better with a bigger squad. Pep doesn't want that. Will Echeverri go out on loan? It's a good question. I hope not. Potentially, there does need to be some movement. Players do need to go. If you cannot get rid of Kovacic or Gundogan or John Stones or Akanji, I mean, Echeverri might just have to go out on loan because of rules, unfortunately. Everyone is interested in Rodrigo. That's true, man. I mean, I see a lot of people go on about how Rodrigo is not as... He's basically got the same output as Daku, but I think that's so misleading because, yes, maybe Rodrigo had a down season this past season, but Rodrigo has been at Madrid for years. We have seen this guy produce at the highest level. He personally knocked us out of the Champions League a few years ago. Like, we know the guy is good. There's no questions about, is Rodrigo good? I think you still have questions on Doku. Is he going to get to that level when we've already seen Rodrigo at that level? And Rodrigo's only 24. He's only 1 year older than Doku. So for me, if we're just swapping those two, it's a clear upgrade for sure. But it's not that simple, unfortunately. It's just not that simple. Echeverri is injured, ankle injury. I did see that as well. Ankle injury will have him probably miss most of the rest of the Club World Cup. I saw 2 to 3 weeks. And I don't know how long this tournament goes for, but surely it's not much past 3 weeks. So unfortunately, we get to see a nice little cameo for Echeverri, scores in a banger free kick, and then is out injured, unfortunately. But those are most of the rumors I have seen on Twitter. If there's any more rumors that you guys have seen, of course, let me know. Put them in the chat. We can discuss. But that's most of what I've seen for the time being. Like I said, Gundo probably is out the door once the Club World Cup ends. I'm scrolling now to see if there's any bit of more news. I don't think so. I don't think I saw anything else, but yeah, Rico Lewis banned. We all know that. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. So I do appreciate the support on this video here. Ryan says we'll likely face Madrid. Yeah, that's possible. If we finish second and Madrid finish first, that is who we will play. So obviously tomorrow's game is big. Need a win to avoid Madrid. And even if we win, I think we could still play them if they finish second. So for whatever reason, it seems like we play Madrid every year, multiple times. It's just the will of the FIFA people, I guess, that it's rigged that we play Madrid every single year, unfortunately. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Do appreciate it. I will be at the game tomorrow, so no watch along for anybody who normally comes for those. Sorry, I had to do it, had to go to the game. But like I said, I'm doing a vlog, and I'll put that out on Friday probably. Don't know how long that'll take to edit, but we'll see. If you're new, do hit me with a sub. I'm trying to hit 200 at some point. Hopefully before the season starts, we hit 200. And check out my TikTok as well if you like the short form content. I'm trying to hit 1,500 very soon on TikTok.